In this video series, I'm going to talk about Copilot Studio. Now, in this particular video, I'm going to talk about what is Copilot Studio, why do we use it, what is the purpose of it, and those sort of questions. However, in the entire video series, I'll try to cover each and every component within Copilot Studio so that you can start exploring the authoring interface to build a Copilot or a bot. Now, to start with, what is Copilot Studio? Now, Copilot Studio was formerly known as Power Virtual Agents. Now, Copilot Studio is a part of Power Platform family. It is basically a web based authoring interface to create Copilot or bots. Now, the bots are basically used to generate responses based on your query. Now, those bots can be customized as per your need based on your organizational documentation or based on your organizational processes, or it can be as generic as like a generative AI bot. Now, Copilot Studio is basically an end to end conversational AI platform to create and customize Copilot using natural language processing. Now, Copilot is specific to Microsoft. Copilot is basically used to design, test, author, and publish copilots. Now, where can you use copilots? Now, copilots can be published as a standalone component. It can be published to a custom website. It can be published to various services. So there are various channels, like you can publish it to Teams, you can publish it to Slack, you can publish it to multiple channel, which I'm going to cover in my upcoming topics. Now, basically, Copilot Studio is like you can design actionable, intelligent, and connected AI assistants. Now, what it is that it does not only provide a response, but then it does some action as well. Now, in order to start with the development of Copilot Studio, or Copilot, you can start leveraging the URL copilotstudio.microsoft.com. Now, remember, if you are very new to Power Platform, you need to have a Microsoft 365 tenant to have those structure ready, and then you can provision your Copilot Studio copilots within the environment. Now, these are the URL copilotstudio.microsoft.com and copilotstudio.preview.microsoft.com. The preview part is basically the one which is currently not GA, but then that will have a lot of goodies, new features to test around. Now there are too many co-pilots or GPT. Sometimes we get confused with so many terms like Microsoft 365 Copilot. Now there is a Microsoft 365 Copilot Enterprise, Personal. Then there is Bing Copilot. Then there is Microsoft Edge Copilot, Chat GPT. Now, just to remove all this confusion, what I've done is like I've taken a screenshot of the instances of this particular application. Now, most of them does the same thing, like basically it will provide you a response. It's kind of like generative AI, but then the scope of the session depends on whether it is global, whether it is enterprise wide, whether it is related to your specific knowledge base. So it differs around that. Now, the first one, Microsoft 365 Copilot Enterprise. Now, in order to navigate to this application, you need to just type copilot.microsoft.com and log in using your uh, enterprise account. The moment you do that, you will see this interface. Now, this interface is dynamic, it keeps on changing. Today, as of recording on June 2024, this is the interface. So, as you see over here on the left hand side, we have Copilot, then we have Notebook, and then below you can type in your prompts to get a response from the Copilot. Now, remember, this is organization wide, so this is specific to your organization. Now, depending on your settings, you might turn off the external knowledge source. Okay, so if you want to extract information within your organization, then this is the Copilot which you need to work on. Then there is Microsoft Copilot Personal. Now, again, the URL is same, but then you need to log in using your personal account. Now, personal Microsoft account. So it can be Hotmail account, Live account, or any other Microsoft account which is termed as personal. It is not enterprise. So here, again, the same interface. Here you get a search prompt whereby you can start seeking out information or ask question to the copilot, and then based on the conversation style you might get a response. Bing Copilot Personal. Now, again, this is as part of Bing interface. So, if you want to search something in the internet, again, from a conversational style perspective, you can pick up a topic. You can define the context for the Bing enterprise and ask any questions. Okay, now the question can be like, compose a folk song about a day in the life of a roaming cloud, or as you see over here, it says, give me tips for balancing work, productivity, personal time effectively. Now, those all things you can use over here and try to get a response. Now, again, this interface is a bit different. You see a Bing search component over here. Then there is a Copilot tab and Notebook tab, like how we have for the personal account. And on the right hand side, you will see chats and plugins. So you can have those external interface component by adding those plugins over here, which I'm going to cover in my like say future sessions. Now, going back, Microsoft Edge Copilot. Now, this is specific to Microsoft Edge. So, if you have a Microsoft Edge browser, on the top right, you will see a Copilot icon. And when you click on it, on the right hand side, you will see is some component, a frame basically containing Copilot. Now, this I'll call it as an Edge Copilot. So, this is quite embedded within Microsoft Edge. It takes the context of the browser context and try to give you the responses. Now, the responses can be, again, depending on your conversation style, it can be more creative, more balanced, more precise, and you can tweak your prompt accordingly. It has a facility to take a screenshot of the web page and try to decipher the information. So you can do a clipping of the screen within this particular application, and you can even put out an attachment as well and ask the system what it is. ChatGPT, again, this is not my Microsoft product, but then this is based on OpenAI. Now, ChatGPT, again, this it all started from here. So again, it's a model basically which kind of a generative AI which gives you a response based on the request you type, which we call it as prompt. Now, this is it takes helps of large language model and try to decipher the information. Now, again, this information retrieved from ChatGPT may not be the latest. It all depends on what is the underlying model and how updated that model is. Now, if you see in the bottom over here, there is an upgrade plan to get GPT-4 or DALI for image generation. Now, GPT-4 is the latest model as of date, and this particular chat GPT uses GPT 3.5. Now, again, the responses might not be as relevant as you want. So, if you want a more relevant response, then you need to set the temperature and also set the underlying large language model as well. So, if you upgrade the plan, then you get GPT-4. Now, Copilot versus Copilot Studio. Now, we have whatever we have seen, like majority of them were Copilot. Now, what is Copilot and what is Copilot Studio? Now, Copilot Studio is basically an authoring interface to build Copilot. Now, Copilot were earlier called as bots. Okay, so it is one and the same thing. So, what you're doing is like you're using Copilot Studio to author a bot. Now, the bot can define the basic knowledge base through which it will respond. Now, the knowledge base can be as small as a simple FAQ within your organizational website, or it can be as complex as a large language model or a small language model within your organization or external to your organization. Now, Microsoft Copilot is basically a ready-made instance of the Copilot. So it is an instance which is already built by Microsoft. Now it defines Microsoft standard. It defines what Microsoft has defined within the context of Copilot. Now, if you are not happy with it, or if it does not satisfy your organizational requirement, then you can extend, or you can basically have your own custom Copilot built. Now, some of the Copilot service can be extended with Copilot Studio, so Microsoft 365 Copilot or Copilot for sales. So those all things can be extended with Copilot Studio. Extension means basically you work on top of the existing application and try to add a plugin or an action or an extension to it. ChatGPT is completely different from Copilot. ChatGPT is an open AI product or service, and Copilot is specific to Microsoft. Now, customizing Copilot. Now, what are we going to do in that interface? Now, we have three options over here. Now, three basic feature set: connect, design, and extend. Now, connect means, as you all know, the purpose of Copilot is to have those conversations with the user. Now, it generates conversation. So you ask a question, you get a response. Now, you can convert the conversation into actions. So now Microsoft uses Power Automate to control the behavior of the response. So if you say ask for something and you get a response, then Copilot can act as an agent to perform an action. Now, there are thousands of pre-built connectors available in Power Automate or the Power Platform interface. So, Microsoft Copilot or the Copilot Studio custom Copilot can utilize those and get your task done. You can alternatively bring your own Azure AI models. So AI models related to text extraction or image extraction, audio, adding those intelligence to the text, language analytics. So those all things you can bring through the Azure AI model. Now, from a design perspective, you can control Copilot response for topics. You can handle complex queries. You can make use of Power Effects formulas while building your Copilot or supporting your Copilot responses. You can make use of adaptive card, which is again you can use it for personalized responses. It is it can use non-platform specific interface as well. You can use natural language, graphical user interface, and code view integration within Copilot Studio. From an extension perspective, whatever Microsoft has built or whatever third party company have built the Copilot, you can publish Copilot across multiple channels. Also, you can extend line of business apps. You can use Copilot with Power Apps. And at the end, if the Copilot does not serve a purpose, while having those conversation, you can even transfer the conversation to live agents. Now the live agents can be in any third party system like ServiceNow or Dynamics 365 customer service, or any third party systems which does the customer service management functionality. Now, the capabilities are from the Copilot Studio perspective. You can build a bot, you can build a Copilot, you can integrate Copilot with third-party system, as I mentioned, like Zoho, ServiceNow, Twilio, Zendesk, Freshdesk, Data 8, plus many more. You can use a feature set from Azure Cognitive Software Development Kit, Azure OpenAI, Copilot Software Development Kit, and also you can extend Copilot currently for Copilot for Microsoft 365 and Copilot for Sales. But in the near future, you will be able to extend Copilot for SharePoint and Copilot in Finance. Now, this is how the basically the home screen for Copilot looks like. Okay, so enough of the demo. Let me show you how the Copilot Studio looks like. So if I type in the URL copilotstudio.preview.microsoft.com or copilotstudio.microsoft.com, and if you have already provisioned Copilot Studio, then you should be able to see this interface. Now here you can actually build a bot. So if I click on create, I will be able to create a bot. I can create a new Copilot, or I can have new Copilot action. I can start with a template if I desire so. And also I can look into various library options to build various prompts and action for my Copilot. Now, the example which I showed you was about multiple Copilot. So if I just type copilot.microsoft.com, and if I log in using an enterprise account, now if you see here, this is an enterprise account, you will see a protected icon over here. It says commercial data protection applies to this chat. So that means this particular chat will not get stored anywhere, or the context will be within your organization. So this is much more secured. Now similarly, if you just type copilot.microsoft.com in your personal account, so if I this is my personal account, and if I type copilot.microsoft.com, now again this interface is bit different. Now here in copilot.microsoft.com, here you will see Copilot notebook. You can try the app, and then here you will see plugins. So plugins means basically you can have an extension for the Copilot. Like I can search, I can enhance my search with the power of web. I can have Instacart, I can have Kayak to search for flights, stays, rental car, and there are many other third-party plugins available currently. Okay, so I can even make a song with Suno. Your song request, including any personal data within it, will be shared with Suno. So that means if I want to draft a new song, I can do that with this application. So that's about personal Copilot. Now here, if I just type in chatgpt.com, again this is a generative AI application. So here I've logged in ChatGPT using my account, and then I can get various responses from here. Now remember, this is not specific to Microsoft. This is OpenAI. This is a different company. Microsoft has taken a large language model from this organization, but then this one runs completely independent. And once you are in this particular application, then you need to be very sure about the data you type, the prompts you type, and then the responses you get from this particular application may not be accurate or relevant depending on the plan. So if I upgrade to the plan, then I can get GPT-4 DALI model, and then I'll be able to get those correct responses and more relevant responses as required. Then in the personal side, if I just type bing.com, now again in bing.com, there is an option called as Copilot. So if I click on Copilot over here, again, I get this different interface. So I can search for something in Bing. And also, if I go back, then I can go into the notebook, and then I can type in what's on my mind. I can write a detailed prompt to Copilot, and then Copilot will start creating content over here. So this is Bing Copilot. Now, if I go into the new tab, and if you see this icon over here on the top, if I just hover, here you will see another Copilot. Now, this Copilot is integrated with Microsoft Edge. So again, it's a generative AI, so it is integrated with Microsoft Edge. You can ask any question, and also you can add an image. So I can add an image, or maybe I can take a screenshot. So if I just click over here and I can take a screenshot of it, and I'll just say yes, and I'll say what is this, then Copilot would try to generate the response based on the image. So this is like a kind of a shortcut for me to, rather than going into Copilot, I can directly get those application utilization or usage within the Edge browser. So I need not even log into the application. So now, as you see here, this is the Copilot have generated that the image you have uploaded captures a serene and picturesque scene, and it will give you the annotations as well, whereby the citations basically where from where it has picked up those images. So that's it, folks. This is mainly about Copilot Studio. I try to cover the different Microsoft 365 Copilot and try to compare with Chat GPT. But the main focus of this session would be Copilot Studio. So in the coming video, we will start exploring each and every menu component. We'll try creating Copilot, and we'll try to build a Copilot and try to publish into various channels as well. So that's it, folks. Thanks for watching.